Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world, Mega Crashers here, and this isn't exactly Pokemon related, but I guarantee you guys are going to enjoy this video as if it was. And all of you wrestling fans in the WWE are going to enjoy this as well, because I bring you guys my reaction/review of WrestleMania 32. And yes, this contains spoilers, so if you haven't yet seen it, then I highly recommend you click the fuck out of this video right now. Because I just got finished watching this video, and my god, WrestleMania exceeded my expectations in so many ways. Holy fucking shit, dude. I don't even know where to begin, but I guess I should begin in a chronological order and get on with the pre-show first. So the pre-show had 3 matches, the first of which was the United States Championship match between Kalisto and Ryback. The winner was Kalisto, and I was kind of expecting it to be Kalisto, to be honest with you, because I mean, yeah, sure, he is literally half the size of Ryback. Ryback's a big 300-pound guy, and the match was okay for what it was worth. I mean, I didn't really find anything too spectacular in the match, to be honest with you. I mean, it kind of reminded me of any match that you would see on, like, Raw or SmackDown or something like that. But either way, the match was okay, and I loved Kalisto's finisher on Ryback. I can't even pronounce it. It's like Del Sol something, but like, wow. I love the way that finisher looks, and definitely big ups to your retaining United States Champion known as Kalisto. He reminds me of Rey Mysterio. I actually had him confused at first when I first heard of Kalisto. I'm like, is that Rey Mysterio but under a different name? Like, what the hell? So anyways, big ups to Kalisto. Coming up next, we have the 10 Diva Tag Team match. We got Team Total Divas versus Team Bad and Blonde. Now, the match it wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, hell, Lana made her in-ring debut, which was fucking awesome. But the thing is that other than that, the match wasn't really too special. The ending was, which I'll get to in a moment, but it reminded me of something that you would see on like Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, as I said with the first match, right? But you know, it was what it is. I mean, it was an okay match. The ending, though, I loved, because Brie Bella ended up slapping on the yes lock on Naomi and ended up getting the submission and the win for her team, and the crowd going yes, yes, yes. That was amazing. I loved it. I loved it. I'm just like, damn, like this was awesome. It definitely would have meant more if it was just Lana versus Brie Bella. I think that would have panned out a lot better, to be honest with you. And here's why. Because Brie Bella's on the verge of retiring, right? I mean, you hear talk about it all the time if you're familiar with WWE and Total Divas. Yes, I watch Total Divas, don't judge me. But anyways, and also when you have Lana who would make her in-ring debut, that would have been a really good match to get Lana over. I mean, whether she would win or lose is irrelevant. I mean, when you face off against an accomplished women's wrestler like Brie Bella, then you're going to get over either way, because you're wrestling someone who is very experienced and is definitely going to carry a good match. So, but that's not to be expected. But anyways, regardless, I'm happy with the ending. Definitely Brie Bella with the whole yes, yes chant, and the paying homage to her husband with the yes lock. I thought that was pretty cool. So coming up next, we got the Usos versus the Dudleys, and the Usos and Dudleys match was actually pretty cool. I mean, you have the veterans that have won tag team championships all over the world and have competed in so many of them. And you have the Usos, which are one of the most popular and hot tag teams that there is of this generation, whereas when you had the Dudley Boys, that was from last generation, from like the late 90s to the mid 2000s, and that was a really good passing of the torch match, you could say. The Usos end up winning the match, and what was even better about the match was the ending after they won. They set up the Dudley Boys on 2 tables, and they did a Samoan splash right through the both of them and broke the tables. I mean, I was just like, what the fuck? That was so cool. That was so cool. That right there was like it was like the cherry on top of the icing. You know what I mean? It was awesome. So that is going to wrap up the WrestleMania pre-show. It is now time to get into into the main show of WrestleMania. And to open up the WrestleMania event, we had the 7-man Intercontinental Championship ladder match. The same match that opened up WrestleMania 31 last year. And I was just like, whoa, man. Like, this right here, I was a little bit shocked that we were going to have a ladder match leading off WrestleMania again. But, hey, you know what? I thought it was pretty cool either way, because the match, when you throw 7 really competitive individuals in there with ladders, oh my god, something's fixing to happen. I mean, it did last year, and this year, I was not disappointed. I thought it was really sentimental and really kind of touching when Stardust came out in his usual outfit, but he had the Dusty Rhodes pattern on his bodysuit. Dusty Rhodes was the father of Cody, aka Stardust, before he passed. And while he was wrestling, he would wear a singlet with it'd be black, and it would have yellow polka dots all over it. And Stardust had the same sort of pattern on his wrestling outfit, which I thought was really amazing. And something I didn't expect, when he pulled a ladder out from underneath the ring, it was black with yellow dots on it. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, that right there is just so touching. It's so awesome. But what was even the bigger highlight of the match was the fact that Zack Ryder, woo woo woo, you know it, he's your new Intercontinental Champion. Woo! My boy Zack Ryder finally has his WrestleMania moment. And in front of the largest WrestleMania crowd too, which I will get into the statistics a little bit later on. But my god, man, it was so awesome to see my boy Zack Ryder finally have his WrestleMania moment. And he's without a doubt going to be one of the most charismatic Intercontinental Championships the business has ever seen. Without a doubt. Without a shadow, a scrap of doubt. So coming up next, we have AJ Styles versus Y2J4. Now this match, I have to say, is probably going to be one of the hidden gems of WrestleMania. And this match was just oozing with technical prowess and a whole bunch of amazing moves, and how the two just worked together. It was so awesome. They put on a fucking show. It was definitely a match that would be worthy of it being match of the night if there was things like Hell in a Cell and Street Fights and the World Heavyweight Championship. But this right here, the AJ Styles and Y2J match, would definitely easily be main event caliber for Raw or SmackDown. And I was just like, holy shit, this was actually very, very awesome. And the part that surprised me the most was how the match ended. Because the two exchanged finishing moves on each other like it was no one's business. It was crazy. And when AJ Styles went for his phenomenal forearm, I was half expecting for Y2J to push the referee into the ropes and cause AJ to lose his balance, but no, instead, he ends up shoving the referee out of the way, jumps up, grabs AJ Styles, mid-flight, knees in the face, code breaker for the 1-2-3. And I was just like, holy shit, this right here means that now Jericho and AJ Styles are at 2 wins against each other apiece. There has to be an AJ Y2J 5 match. There has to be. I mean, it's set up right here, man. Like, holy shit, it was fucking set up from the beginning. I mean, I was half expecting AJ to win, but to see Jericho win, I'm just like, okay, that's awesome. And he definitely didn't bury him. When you wrestle a legend like Chris Jericho or Triple H or The Undertaker, you're put over by default because you're working with them and they're making you look good. Not that AJ Styles needed to look good. I mean, my God, they don't call him phenomenal for nothing. He's wrestled all around the world. And AJ Styles is easily one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Doesn't matter what business, but I guess now in WWE it does because he's in the WWE finally. Woo! So, finally, coming up next, we have The New Day versus the League of Nations. And I loved the entrance of The New Day. Not only did they come out of a big box of giant Booty-O's cereal, but they all had really strange outfits on. And they were really cool. And I can't believe that Xavier Woods actually had the Vegeta hairstyle going on. I'm just like, are you kidding me? Seriously. But the match itself was actually kind of, it was entertaining because of the fact that Big E, I gotta give this big props to Big E, especially because for a 300-pound man, he sure can move. He flew through the second rope and took out 3 of the League of Nations members. Of course, he landed on his head, or at least that's what it looks like anyways. I was just like, Jesus Christ, he better not knock himself out, holy fuck. But it was a good match, but of course, League of Nations, thanks to some outside interference from Wade Barrett, they ended up getting a victory. And of course, their victory didn't last long because out came some legends. We had the legendary Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Mick Foley confront League of Nations and beat them. I was just laughing my ass off. Like, Stone Cold Stunner's sweet chin music and sockos and all that stuff. Like, what the fuck? And then, of course, New Day tries to get in on the action and start dancing with them. And it looks like things were going their way until, BAM! Stone Cold Stunner, bitch! I mean, come on. You can't trust a rattlesnake, honestly. Come on. Don't you guys know better? But anyways, it was one of the highlights of the night. And I was really, really excited. So coming up next, we got a match that I was really, really hyped to see. And that was the street fight between Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar. And I can honestly say I wasn't surprised with the outcome. I kind of figured out that Brock Lesnar was going to win, but again, it kind of goes back to the example I said earlier. When you're fighting big names, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. You get put over by default because you're working with them and you're putting together a really good match. Brock Lesnar beat the crap out of Dean Ambrose, and he just kept on coming and coming and coming. 13 suplexes in that match. Holy shit. I was hoping that he would break the record of 16, though, in one match. You remember that SummerSlam match with John Cena? Suplex City, bitch? Yeah. Well, anyways, Dean Ambrose had some really, really awesome spots on that match. I mean, when he ended up giving the dirty deeds to Brock Lesnar in the pile of steel chairs, I thought that was pretty cool. And I was so hoping for him to use that barbed wire baseball bat, and he took a swing, but he missed and got suplexed on his head for his troubles in a pile of chairs, and then got F5 in a pile of chairs and ended up losing. So the winner definitively was Brock Lesnar, but my god, the two beat the crap out of each other, especially Brock Lesnar to Dean Ambrose. But Dean kept it coming, man. He just kept on beating up Brock Lesnar with weapons. And you could definitely see it on Brock Lesnar. He had some welts and some bruises right there. So anyways, I was not disappointed with that match. Coming up next, we have, in my opinion, one of the best women's wrestling matches I have ever seen. Like, it's definitely a candidate for match of the year on any scale. It doesn't matter if it's men's wrestling or women's wrestling. Like, they gotta put this on there for the Slammy Awards for best match of the year. We had the Divas champion Charlotte versus Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch. And for those of you guys that know me, I'm a huge fan of Becky Lynch. I was so hoping that she would win. But when I seen the entrance of Sasha Banks being accompanied by Snoop Dogg and actually having him sing her theme song to the ring was absolutely spectacular. And the wrestling gear that she had on, it was to commemorate Hall of Famer Eddie Guerrero. I'm just like, oh my god, okay, she's gonna win. I mean, it was written on the wall, or at least I thought it was, because you've seen all the videos on WWE's YouTube channel of Sasha Banks with her vlogs and all that stuff. Not that I mind them, I actually love them. She should do more of those. But the thing of it is, it was written on the wall that she was gonna win. But, you wanna know what happened? She didn't. Becky Lynch didn't win. Charlotte won. You want to know why? Because once again, her dad had to interfere in the fucking match and ruin it pretty much. I mean, like, it was still it's still a match of the year candidate, no doubt. But god damn it, for once, can we not have outside interference that screws up matches? Jesus Christ, man. Like, I was so angry at the ending. I was thinking, Ric Flair, I love you, buddy, but you need to get the fuck out of here. You know, you're not a women's wrestler. You are a 16-time world champion. You have no business interfering in your daughter's championship matches. Jeez, no wonder she has the label of Daddy's little girl, because literally in every single championship match that she's had, Ric Flair has interfered in them all. Now, oh man. Look, I'm not taking anything away from her victory. For her to transition from Divas champion to Women's champion, like, I'm just like, okay, that is revolutionary. That is proud. And no doubt, Charlotte is very athletic and very deserving. I mean, the fact that she did a top rope backflip to the outside floor with Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch spot her, good God. Like, there were so many maneuvers going on in that match, I can't even list them all. It was so fast-paced and amazing. So, it's definitely a must-see match for all of you wrestling fans. And you even had people chanting, "This is wrestling!" And I'm just like, yep, this is wrestling, big time. So anyways, with that out of the way, it is now time for, in my opinion, the match of the night. You had the Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Shane McMahon. And there was a lot riding on this match. If Shane McMahon won, he would gain control of Monday Night Raw. And if Undertaker won, then he would be allowed to continue competing at WrestleMania, because had he have lost, he would be barred from competing in WrestleMania ever again. And I was so blown back by Shane McMahon's performance. I mean, I knew the guy was going to do some crazy shit, but my God, I've never seen somebody take such a beating and have so many bumps to set up. Like, okay, first of all, he got fucking chokeslammed on the steel steps, right? And then he got speared through the Hell in a Cell cage, one of the cage panels. And then when he was about to get tombstoned onto the announce table, Shane McMahon had him in a rear naked choke to kind of counter it. But then Undertaker had the wherewithal to jump with Shane McMahon and roll him through the announce table and bust it, landing on Shane McMahon. I'm just like, what the fuck? And then, of course, came the toolbox that, bam, like just bashed Undertaker's head in like a railroad spike. And then, I seen this coming, but I wasn't entirely sure when or how or even if it was going to happen. But Triple H, not Triple H, Undertaker was laid the fuck out in the announcer's table, and Shane McMahon climbed about 25 feet up in the air. And they say Hell in a Cell is 20 feet. I have to say it's got to be higher than that, like at least 25 feet. And Shane McMahon was standing up high, and he ends up jumping off the roof, and he crashed through the announce table as Undertaker rolls out of the way. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And even still, Shane McMahon would like, he was like, come on, man, keep going, let's keep going. But his body was pretty much telling different. He's like, I can't do it no more. But Shane had no quit in him, and he got Tombstone Power Drive for his troubles, and the 1, 2, 3. And yeah, of course, Shane McMahon definitely the performer of the night, in my opinion. I mean, jeez. You see some of the stunts that this guy does? I mean, just look up Shane McMahon, and you look up some of the craziest matches that he's had, where he's jumped off of really high shit. I mean, he jumped off a fucking Titantron onto the Big Show in Backlash in 2001, their last man standing match. The Titantron was over 70 feet high. Yeah, try and wrap your head around that. I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? So, now we move on to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I cannot believe the fact that Shaquille O'Neal made an appearance and competed. And of course, him and the Big Show, you know, they had some past beef, and they, you know, tried to outmuscle each other by choking each other out and shit. And I was just like, wow, dude. But because of the fact that there was only a few superstars that had separate entrances, like Mark Henry, for example, he's from Silsbee, Texas, and the WrestleMania took place in Dallas, Texas, so in his home state, Mark Henry had his own entrance, and I was actually banking on him to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and then retire, because it would have been perfect. It would have been the perfect fit right there, to be honest with you. But unfortunately, Baron Corbin ended up winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And I got no problem with Baron Corbin. I mean, great athlete, and it's funny because I work with a guy whose name is Corbin, and I nicknamed him Baron Corbin. And I tell him every now and then, it's like, oh man, I don't want to piss you off, man, because he'll give me the fucking end of days and put my lights out. Or, you know, he'll tell me stories. I'm like, man, you should have gave him the end of days. And he actually seen what the end of days looks like, and he's like, man, that looks nasty. I'm like, you see what I mean? That's why I call you Baron Corbin, not because of your name, but because, you know, you look like someone that could give someone the end of days and be the new champion. But anyways, no, not taking anything away from Baron Corbin. He earned it. He deserved it. And what really shocked me was that he didn't have his own separate entrance, and he won. Yeah, that was so unexpected. But I felt that this match was booked rather poorly because, again, Mark Henry, hometown hero, or home state hero, in WrestleMania. He should have won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal so that he could have had his WrestleMania moment, and then he probably would have retired after that. I mean, I like Mark Henry. He's awesome. But time to move on to what I was so shocked with this next segment. For one, The Rock appeared and had a fucking blowtorch and set the letters of his name on fire, which was really awesome. And when he announced the attendance record, it broke over 100,000 people in attendance. To be exact, we had 101,763 people. Try and wrap your head around that! Can you imagine performing in front of over 100,000 people? Holy shit, man! That arena was stacked up big time. I was so shocked. And then, right after he announced it, the Wyatt family comes out. And then, what I thought was, I didn't expect this to happen, but The Rock actually issued an impromptu match with the Wyatt family, but instead got Erick Rowan, and he was wearing his fucking wrestling gear. And guess what? All it took was one rock bottom, 1, 2, 3, and guess what? The match was over in 6 seconds. And that right there is a WrestleMania record. Yeah, summed up in 3 words. 6 fucking seconds. I can't even believe it. And then after the match, you had the Wyatt family attempting to invade again, and then John Cena makes his return. What the fuck? So it looks like John Cena wasn't going to miss WrestleMania after all. He wasn't going to be competing, but he was going to be making an appearance there. What on earth, dude? Holy shit! So I was just like, god damn, like the two were bitter rivals a couple of years ago, right? Or a few years ago. Do you remember WrestleMania 27th and 28th and 29? And yeah. Rewind back to those WrestleManias and you'll know the story better. But my god, that was so awesome. And then, finally, the match of the evening. The main event. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Triple H versus Roman Reigns. Now, I'm not going to dump on this match, but the outcome was so predictable. I seen it coming from a mile away. Hell, Ray Charles could have seen that shit coming from a mile away. It was so predictable. I knew that Roman Reigns was going to win. And he did. It was an okay match. I mean, Triple H did most of the spotting and most of the work in the match. Setting Roman Reigns up to have some pretty awesome moves being executed in the match. I mean, the spear through the barricade. And I thought that this was a really funny, not like ha-ha funny, but I'm just like, what the fuck kind of funny. It's like, Roman Reigns actually speared Stephanie McMahon. It was by accident, but still, he fucking speared her. And before I get on with the rest of the match, the entrances of Triple H and Roman Reigns were actually pretty damn cool. Especially Triple H's. When Roman Reigns first came out, I'm just like, oh jeez, same dull-ass theme. It's like, is he gonna have anything special in this entrance? And lo and behold, as soon as he fist-pounded the star at the entrance ramp, there was a whole bunch of fireworks and shit. I'm just like, wow, dude, that was amazing. So I give credit where credit's due. And I mean, I don't hate Roman Reigns. I like Roman Reigns, actually. He's really cool. But the thing is that when you have your entire audience booing Roman Reigns and cheering Triple H when Triple H is supposed to be the bad guy and Roman's supposed to be the good guy, you know that WWE is doing something wrong. And it's a little something called shoving Roman Reigns down our throats. You gotta let Roman Reigns, or any superstar you're pushing for that matter, leave their ways into our hearts. You gotta let them work their magic, and for all of us as the WWE Universe to embrace it. But because you're pushing Roman Reigns down our throats, it's like, well, geez, like, you wonder why we hate him. And we're not exactly hating him, per se. We're just hating how much the WWE is promoting Roman Reigns when he either still needs time to grow as a competitor or as a superstar or whatever. And, you know, to be able to grow into his fan base and actually grow a really awesome fan base like John Cena did over the years, like The Rock did over the years, you know? So yeah, the ending was predictable. Roman Reigns won, and the fucking fireworks show was off the chain. I cannot believe it. I mean, the AT&T Stadium fucking blew up with fireworks, especially on the end. Like, holy my god. It was incredible, and I loved it. I loved the fireworks show. So that pretty much wraps up WrestleMania. My overall impression on it, one of the best fucking WrestleManias ever. Highly recommend that you guys get it. It is absolutely amazing. There was a couple of matches that I felt like that were they were bad matches, as I said. I mean, let's rewind back to the kickoff of WrestleMania, where we had the United States Championship match between Kalisto and Ryback. That's the kind of match that you would see on like Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. And I'm not saying it's like a bad match or anything like that, but it wasn't exciting. It wasn't that exciting. And then you had the 10 Diva Tag Team match, which could have easily been done on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. I'm just like, why would they include 8 other divas in an issue that was supposed to be Brie Bella versus Lana? In my opinion, like I said, that would have panned out much better for Lana's and Brie Bella's storyline, not to get everybody else involved. And I don't know if I said this already, but like Eva Marie, oh my god, like I don't know what it is about her, okay? Like I apologize to those who are Eva Marie fans, but I'm just not a fan of her. I'm not that big a fan of her, especially the way that she was acting in the match. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, do you even know whose side are you on? Do you even know what you're doing in this match? Yes, you are on Team Total Divas. Therefore, you should be competing with them, not, you know, acting like your own person, being all like just start slapping people, your own teammates around. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, when she tagged in Natty, like, she just like slapped her. Just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what's your problem? But anyways, that's just me. That's just me. Every single time I see her act that way and see her period, I just want to puke. But that's just me. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this long-winded but definitely action-packed event if you have seen it. And I also hope that you enjoyed this long, epic review/reaction of WrestleMania. As I said in the beginning, there's spoilers. So if you watched up until this point and you haven't yet watched WrestleMania and you complain that I spoiled it, hey, I gave you a warning at the beginning of the video, bub. So don't get mad at me. Anyways, guys, with that being said, I hope you guys have yourselves a damn good night. It is 2 o'clock, and I gotta be up in less than 4 hours for work. But I stayed up just to watch WrestleMania and just to do this video for you guys because I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this for you guys. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please feel free to fire off a like. Let's see if we can aim for 32 likes because it's WrestleMania. Well, I'm not gonna aim for that high. We'll aim for 5 likes. I mean, that's pretty reasonable, right? So, with that being said, if you guys want more content like this, be sure to rate, comment, share this channel, share this video, and subscribe today. Can't see me. Well, actually you can. Because you see this video, right? Then that means you see me. So thanks for watching, and also be sure to be a part and subscribe to a community that is tightly packed and tightly knit as one. And you know the deal. You already know the deal. Under any circumstance, rain, weather, shine, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter the season, doesn't matter the time of day. we shine brighter than the sun and the moon combined. You know that! Woo! So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next upload!